Monday. Actually, I like Monday better than Tuesdays.
I do too. I agree. And Thursday's kind of funky too.
It's like Monday, you're like, okay, you hit the ground running.
Yep.
You know what you're going to do.
I'm the same
you're
way.
checking stuff off the list. You know what I mean? And then Tuesday comes and you're like, okay, I didn't do that yesterday because I didn't want to do that. I still don't want to do it, but now I have to do it.
Tuesday is like Monday is like ugly.
All right, so the microphone is not making a noise, right?
Not now. No, it's telling you it's Ricky.
Okay, all right, because I'm like literally, I don't like the only time I type is when I'm looking for and actively looking for an answer for something.
I'm not yelling at anybody. So this morning,
I know, but I want to make sure that me like moving my hands isn't making it happen.
You're fine.
Okay.
Ricky this morning had her location turned off. I was like, dude, that's going the extra mile. I was cracking up. I was like, she is off the grid. Hey, what's up, Lonnie? Good to see Lonnie over on Instagram. Say hey to Lonnie.
Hey, Lonnie.
He can't pop in behind us.
I love Lonnie's pictures of his grandkids.
Lonnie just always looks happy. I just want to be.
I know. Lonnie, is that true? You need to tell us.
I know.
Actually, we should call his wife and ask her.
Exactly.
We want the truth.
Totally. I mean, I saw for the last 15 minutes. My kids stress me out. Getting parking tickets in Chicago. That's why they got to get the car inspected. They're trying to tell me to get
about them.
Trying to send me the links to buy Hokas that are $19.99. That are
there was a pretty good bet that wasn't going to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, that is a great deal on Hokas. $19.99, normally $109.99.
Right. Yes.
I almost bought them. Oh, what's up, Len? And what's up, Mohawk, Scotland? Staying up late. All right, so we gotta get going. Okay, let me get some.
I'm happy when I can get a pair of New Balance at Joe's New Balance. I'm like, oh, this is the style I wear. I'll buy 20 of them. I mean, they're still not a great price, but they're a better price.
Like, I go through them so fast, I don't even care usually what color or anything, because I buy them on Runner's Warehouse. Like, I just go to the closeout section and just get, as long as they have like the model I like that's semi like a color that's okay, like that'll work. I have so many just random looking shoes. Oh my gosh. Okay, did we do this one?
I always have 35 drinks on my desk. Like, this is the thing I do at the end of the night.
I just have a case. Always have a case of
water
here behind me.
Monday, there's coffee to my right, water to my left.
All right. Oh yeah, this is a European special. It's not too late because we're early. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so we are early.
Look at that. We're a little bit earlier tonight because Scott's in Hawaii and Ricky's somewhere in Florida. Okay, here we go. It's 266, and it's that season. Someone's cutting the grass outside right now. Right. Not Brad though. I think
Brad. We need to get Brad on at some point.
Well, he's so good because actually he cut his grass yesterday. His grass looks really good. So it's not Brad. It's Dave next door. That's his mower. I can tell. That's so sad. I'm the old guy. I can tell by the way his mower sounds. That's Brad's mower.
How many times do you have to yell at kids that are on your lawn? I just want to know this.
Yeah, I could care less.
Yeah, I know. We're not there yet.
No. Okay, here we go. 441 and 2667. Welcome to episode 2667 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week, and thanks for checking in with us here on the show. We have made it to the midweek once again, and we appreciate you being here. Of course, that means we are together again for more of your listener questions. It's amazing. The listener questions keep coming in and we keep trying to answer them. And we appreciate that so much. So if you ever have a question, send that in the email to mike@beourguestpodcast.com and we will get that on the air here for you today. And today it's just a pair of the crew here today. So Pam Forrester's joining me for a European special. We're recording a little bit early live here in the afternoon. Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Pam, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. So I was thinking, I'm glad you brought up the whole send in your questions thing, because I think it's, that's it. I love to hear what people have questions about. That actually helps us, I think, be better agents when we see a consistent theme. And honestly, sometimes I'm like, okay, we've had this question a lot. And I'll be like, I bet we need a tip on this, like, or something to help our guests process this. But I actually have a question, and I'll probably pop over on the Discord to put it in there. So soon here, I am going to Walt Disney World. I know everyone's shocked at this, right? But I'm going in with taking my family group, which is kind of small. So Hannah's coming because she'll have a break, and my parents are coming too.
Nice.
So I'm just trying to think. First of all, my mom and my mom's family are kind of the folks that got me interested in Disney from a long, long time ago. Like, they've taken me since I was little. So I'm just trying to think of different things I want to do with my parents. And it's hard. They literally have not been since before COVID. So I think for many of us, that's like, oh, that's a long period of time. So I have to think about like the things that are new since that point in time. But I don't know. I need to think of different things that to take them and to do. And I know like our park touring pace is definitely going to be slower, right? We're going to slow down. We're going to embrace things. We're absolutely making time for sit down lunches, even if it's at a lounge or whatever, and dinners and whatnot, things that they really like to do. But it's always interesting when you do this every day. And if someone asked me this question, I could give them advice, but I think I need some advice from our listeners. So
I love that. So yeah, drop into the Discord and do that. So because our Discord is just fire when it comes to answering questions. I consider the Discord, and again, if you're not a part of the community, come over to beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse, free for everybody. But it's basically a 24/7 listener question show. You could drop in anytime with a question and it'll be answered many times within the hour, with multiple folks giving great advice on that. With that, what I would say, if I was going to drop in and give you an answer, that I would say to go back to nostalgic connections, right? Because you have memories from the past. So
yeah.
I would try to say, you're gonna show them the latest and greatest, right? Be like, hey, check this new thing out, in that, because that's kind of fun too. But I'm that nostalgia person, right? I'd want to go back and do a Pirates with your folks and do that, and kind of, I like to rekindle those old memories where you can. I think that'd be kind of fun, right?
Yes, it's true. And my mom always brings up, she's like, do you remember when all there was the Magic Kingdom, and you would like spend like a day in each land?
Old style tour, yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for that though, because you can still do that in 2025, and it's a very relaxing way to see the parks, and that's how the parks were built, to do it that way.
It was.
But it's just that we're in this hustle and bustle and, look at your iPhone and chase lightning lane society at this point. But if you slow down and you have the opportunity to do it that way, I mean, you pick up on all the details, everything's cohesive, and it's a great way to see the parks. It's just, I don't think a lot of us have the discipline to do that anymore. We're kind of back and forth. And if you look at where, like, if you look on, like if you trace your, like if you're on Runkeeper and you saw what you did for the day, I mean, it looks like, scribble everywhere by the time you leave the park, instead of just a big circle. It's crazy.
It's true. My mom, so every now and then she'll be like, well, I saw on the Facebook that the lines for Pirates were very, very long. On one day, she's like, do you remember when we would go and we would wait in that line for like 2 or 3 hours? I'm like, oh, Mom, people would be very upset if they had to wait 2 or 3 hours for Pirates at this point.
There would, people would be walking the plank on that one for real.
For sure. So anyways, I'm already getting good suggestions, so that's awesome. So I will put it in the Discord later though and do that.
I'm getting worried because these are things I like, Paul's saying Moana attraction, because that's new, interactive, and very, very kind of state of the art of what Disney's moving to. You get to control things. It's very it's got some IP to it, but it's, very accessible, and, doesn't spin you around like you're in a dryer, like Guardians does. So that's kind of nice. Shows, a lot of people are saying, Paul, Cirque du Soleil. you've seen that, right? Drawn to Life.
Yes.
That show is amazing. Like
It
that
is.
show, it killed me. I was like, God, the talent in that show.
I know.
It was an amazing show. And the train. I love the train.
I do too. It's actually the last time we were there, Steve and I wrote it, and I was just sitting there and enjoying all of it. I love the track that plays. I love everything about it. Just it's kitschy and it's fun and it's nostalgic, and it's transportation. So
all right, so I got to address the elephant in the room. Ricky has left the show. Yes, she has left the show, but it's okay. No, I'm not even going there. I was going to do something for April Fool's Day because it was yesterday, but I'm not going to do that. She's just left the show because she's down in Florida, but she'll be back.
She left and she's coming back.
And she's coming back. I wanted to do something, but then I couldn't even keep a straight face, so she'll be back. Because our show didn't fall on April Fool's Day, so I was going to do a whole show, but this year we'll skip out.
It doesn't fall on April.
I do want to talk about something that I saw come on our Discord on Monday earlier this week, and I'm like, careful what you read online this week, because that could be coming in hot for an April Fool's joke. Almost too good to be true. You cannot trust the internet this week. I mean, I'm old. I've been around a few April Fool's weeks in my day, and I've gotten a lot of folks in my day because this is kind of my thing. So we saw the rumor, and it looks like it's possibly confirmed. I mean, Scott,
I know what you're gonna say because I'm so excited.
Me too. I mean, but the thing is, man, I've been, I don't want to be the fish on the hook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but it's stop playing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know
the hook. I mean, that hook's in my cheek. You know, I'm the reels coming in. You know, like I'm. So here we go. We saw the rumor that one resort. 7 people. No, we don't know if it's 7 people.
It's like you have to sign up early.
Exactly. It's like it's so limited. Like if you have on blue slacks,
the secret code.
Exactly, and an orange tie. It's 7:37 a.m. They will pick up your. What we're seeing though is that there is a limited, trial run of. It's Bags Inc. It's the company, the third-party company that used to run the Express Airline check-in, that carried your bags from your resort to the airport, basically kind of for Magical Express, happening from Pop Century over back to Orlando International Airport. Now, just one way, just on your return trip over back to the airport post-trip, only from Pop to the airport. You can't sign up for this. It just
only one airline right now.
Yeah, Southwest. Yeah, and now they're charging for bags too. Starting soon here. So what's up with that?
If you have a credit card, though, you won't be. So
yeah, that's true. I do. I'd have the card, so
you'll be okay.
Free bag, per person. But and you got to go there's a whole thing. I mean, you got to check it out, but you got to go to the desk, and you got to speak to a person that has not only a Disney name tag, but also the Bags Inc. name tag, and you got to have it checked by it's 4 hours before if your flight's. After 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If it's before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you got to have them there by the night before, all those kind of rules. But I just want to bring this up to you and just talk about the play here. Cause I think Disney, I mean, to me, it's the smartest play in the world. This is the time for Disney to bring back Magical Express and this airline check-in, resort airline check-in, because I mean, Epic Universe is going to open, imminently, soon in the next couple of months. I mean, if you ever want to put up a wall, and they've been talking about the Disney bubble I don't know if you've been watching, the execs and social media and stuff. They had a talk. They talked about the Disney bubble. I mean, this is the time where if you ever wanted the Disney bubble to come back up and put up the fortress walls with Magical Express, now's the time to build those walls as thick as you could. And Magical Express was the key to that, at least in my opinion. What do you think?
So I don't see Magical Express coming back. This is no insider information to me or anything like that. But as you know, that used to be at least facilitated in part by Mears, and Mears is its own company now, and probably not super willing to give that all back to someone else. With Sunshine Flyer, Mears, that kind of thing. So I don't see that happening. But the resort airline check-in desk at each resort is so monumentally awesome. First of all, I don't know that it was utilized as much as it should have been, but what you could do is the day that you were going to check out with certain parameters of, as Mike spoke to, you could check your luggage in there and it would check all the way to your final destination.
Yeah, you picked it up. I mean, like I pick it up at Lambert Airport at home, just done.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the best thing. And some different destinations do something like that. Vegas, typically, a lot of the hotels there will offer it. There's just, I don't know. It was so convenient. And it is so convenient. And one of my husband's absolute favorite things that when he heard this, he was like, I would book a hotel that I wasn't staying at Pop Century for one night on my last night, just so I could use my bag, just so I could drop my bags.
Yeah, and that's the hack. You don't have to stay your whole stay at Pop Century. You could stay, 8 nights at Polynesian and then just transfer for your last night at Pop. Boom. But, bags check out at Pop. As long as you check out at Pop last night,
yes,
you're good.
I agree.
As long as this, again, this is a test run, though. It could expand. It could go away. It's not. There's no official. This is so unofficial right now that it.
Right.
I wouldn't book a trip for this reason at this point. Like yet, would you? I mean, I would, because it's only one airline too. You know what I'm saying? This is so. It's still kind of sketch to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sketch might not be the word, but it's just until we get a little bit. It's not firm enough for me yet to like change plans.
I get it. No, I wouldn't change plans on it. I would, if I were staying there, I'd certainly take advantage of it.
Yeah. It's almost like not lucky if you're there.
I think this is very typical of how we see Disney do things, though. Sometimes they do, like many times, they introduce something, they test it out for a little bit, and then they expand it. And sometimes they expand it really quickly.
I agree.
It's like every now and then I'm like, oh, Disney, look at you. You did that test thing. And then I thought we wouldn't have it for a long time. And now here we are having it all the time. It's fantastic. So I'm really going to cross my fingers on this, because when we fly to Orlando, there is one airline that we fly, and it's Southwest from Pittsburgh to Orlando. That is the direct flight. And I'm not connecting for a flight that's like 3 hours or less. That's not going to happen for me. There are some that, like some charter airlines and stuff like that, that I won't even deal with, that may offer direct flights too. But if you miss your flight on Tuesday, there's not another flight down there until next Tuesday. So anyways, there's some other things. So this is hitting like all my check boxes. So I'm really hopeful that we'll see this expand. It was a great service before. The only thing I think that we always sort of cautioned our guests was, these folks are sort of like Skycab outside the airline, outside the airport, and you just have to remember to tip them. These folks are holding your bags for you. They're making them so that you don't have to schlep them to the airport.
It's the best tip money you'll ever spend. I mean, oh my God.
It saves you time at the airport because you don't have to wait in line to check your bag, all of the above. So.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I know you say that you don't think Magical Express is coming back, but I mean, the thing is, and let me just, again, this is, we have time to sit here because we have questions, but this would be the time, in my opinion, because, you meet with Disney. I don't, but I mean, if they want to talk about the Disney bubble, Magical Express was the perfect play for the Disney bubble, right? Because you would land it, you'd check your bags, you would land, and it kept you there. There was no reason to rent a car for most families, because you get on the motor coach, your luggage was squared away, it would show up in your resort room on the other side. They're not doing the other side at all yet, but they could, because they've done this before. They did it perfectly for everybody. This was such a smooth system, and they did it on the way out too, which they're going to try to do maybe. And I just think that if they brought that back, and what I'm seeing too is, I'm trying to read into this, and I have no inside information. I mean, I'm just like everybody else reading online, but trying to connect dots. They're starting with Pop Century, and then it said they might expand it quickly. I saw the word quickly to other value resorts. So is this a play? This seems to me like a play for families, and it's Southwest Airlines too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a family-friendly airline. It's not American. It's not Delta. It's not, trying to get folks over from Europe, Virgin or something like that. It seems very family friendly. Like that's where they're going with this.
I think it will be really interesting to see. Well, first of all, we know this summer is going to be Cool Kid Summer
Yeah,
at Walt Disney
well, I
World.
want to talk about that too for a second too. Yeah,
Yes. So they're absolutely looking at that family market. I think that there are lots of different reasons to target that, but I think, as we all know, I mean, so many of us have grown up with Disney, and then it's still like one of my favorite places to go on vacation still. Like, I mean, there's places all around the world that I love, but there's something about going to Disney World for me. It's like going home. And even that sort of expands to Disneyland and cruise and even Adventures by Disney, and Alani. Just there's something about Disney, like they had me at Disney is basically where I'm at with this. And I think they realize that, like, that they're building future fans, future people who love the destination. There's something very special about a Disney vacation. There just really is. So I don't know. I don't know what we'll see with that. It will be very interesting to see how this goes. And I also saw that there was negotiations again about the train from the airport having to stop in Disney Springs. So, like, there's some movement happening in there. I don't know what it is. And honestly, I'm not privy to that information either. I just am so glad to see something like this come back. I think it was a great resort benefit. And I also think it's worth mentioning too. I wanted to bring this up because for me, this is part of it. For many years, I think as a travel agency owner, we have said to Disney, we know the value in staying at your hotels. Like, we're there. Mm-hmm. I think you need some more tangible things to show people, and they've done that in some in some things. Now, some of them were only like deluxe and deluxe villas, like with the extra magic hours, or I know they're not extra magic hours in the anymore, but extra hours, extra evening hours.
So hard to get all these, I know, right? The deluxe evening hours.
Yes, with that. But I think the other thing they did too, which I still think is a huge benefit, is the half an hour in the parks at any park of your choice in the morning. I think that sort of did that in a better way, so that it wasn't all directed at one park location each day. And then this benefit of the water park in the first day,
too, because I am consistently getting, because a lot of my guests will email me when they get back and say, "Hey, Mike, this is how the trip went." I love those emails, by the way. Like, "Hey, we had a blast. We did this." Every guest that I get back, like, "Hey, especially folks went on cruises, and then like they'll get off the cruise and they'll go to their hotel. They're like, I didn't buy a ticket that first day after the cruise. We went to the water park when we got off the ship." Because you get off the ship usually.
Yeah, you've all day.
And boom, the water park opens at like 10. You're there for almost like rope drop. 9 or 10, boom, you get a full day in the water park, and it's a great day. You're already kind of beach mode already. And I mean, people are loving. I mean, I was wondering how many people would take advantage of that. I mean, maybe it's our crowd, like our podcast listeners.
I don't know.
But I mean, folks booking with me, they are using that benefit a lot, and they're saying it's a great addition. It's a great value add for them.
It is. And I think also, I know we bring this up, and this is definitely something you want to look at depending on the makeup of your party, but the dining plan is something that I think is another great resort benefit. So I think that Disney's been listening in that way. They also made the lightning lanes available to on-site guests available at different. So there's lots of different things that they're trying to do here. Lots of different things I see them trying out. I'm interested to see where this goes.
So Len's going down in a couple weeks. Typhoon's open right now. Blizzard Beach. I can't remember because somebody's talking.
Blizzard Beach was the one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because somebody's emailed me about the fun they had at Blizzard Beach. I was talking to him about Summit Plummet. But I know they are switching soon. So I know. I
felt like it was in May.
Yeah, so it's beginning of April. So yeah, so we'll check on that. But I did want to ask you though, real quick about that, what your thoughts were, because I am super excited that finally Disney's doing something that I love. When they celebrate, they go back to like what they are. Like, Walt Disney World is a company built on characters, and that should go back to marketing themselves to families that are going down there. And with these kid zones that they're going to have this summer, at the Magic Kingdom, he's taking over Communicore at Epcot. And because the thing is, like, if that's not your thing, and if you're a Disney adult that doesn't have kids, dude, it's not going to affect you at all. Like, it's going to be fine. but they're going to have roaming characters, kind of free roaming characters, kind of Disneyland-ish, it sounds to me, in those early entry hour, half hour periods there. And I think that's a win for everybody. That just like makes a cool environment for everybody, and everybody can enjoy that. But then I like too, we had this discussion on Sunday night. It's kind of interesting. They said they're going to have those scheduled characters come to 4 select resorts. It's specific times: Pop, Art, Caribbean Beach, and Wilderness Lodge. I thought it was funny how they picked those 4. Now, Pop and Art kind of make sense. They're kind of, carefree, family resorts. They picked the moderate of Caribbean Beach. I thought, well, maybe they picked that one because it's in the neighborhood with Pop and Art, right there.
Right.
that little Bermuda Triangle.
The Skyliner.
Yeah, exactly. But then I was like, Wilderness Lodge, dude, that, like, where did they get that one? Like, it's like, why did they pick that one? That's kind of an outlier, but I don't know why, but hey, cool. But, I like it. Like, it's not hard for Disney to bring the characters to select people go to Walt Disney World to see characters. Like that's such a no-brainer, and celebrate it. Like, put it in your marketing and do more of, like, Disney. Yes. Thank you. And let's do more of this. Yes. Somebody's making good decisions finally, like, this is good. Let's keep it going.
I agree. I love that they're doing this push, because I will say, every time we've been at a resort for probably the last year and a half, 2 years, we've seen characters at the resort. They weren't at a time that I knew, like, it wasn't on a schedule that I know. And by the way, Disney, can we start putting resort activities on the app?
Yeah, seriously, it's not that hard. I mean, seriously. I mean, they put them in.
Somebody has already typed them up because they're on a little piece of paper.
Amen.
I'm happy to type them up for them, actually.
We had this discussion on Sunday night, though, because there's kind of a debate. Like, would you rather have the characters, like, at scheduled times come to your resort, or would you rather have, like, that surprise and delight where you don't just get, like, 2 or 3 characters at a scheduled time, but all of a sudden, boom, you get like 5 or 6 characters unexpected roll in on that, in that RV.
It's so hard for Disney to do surprise and delight anymore, because then someone's like,
I guess mad on
and she met Goofy at her resort, and I didn't meet Goofy at my resort, and now I'm mad about it. You know what I mean? So I think that's really hard. But when we were at the Riv a few weeks ago, we were sitting out on this little it's a general open space. Anyone can sit there. It's right off the lobby, this sort of balcony area. And Steve and I were just sitting there hanging out. And Goofy came up and Donald came up and spent time with us there. And then we were all waving to people down below us. And Donald was shaking his tail feather like a lot.
He gets a little wild. And I know exactly what you're talking about. The Riv, like that spot at the Riv was made for characters to just like wave and like, flaunt it to all the people down playing bocce ball. Like, I swear when they built that resort, like, we're going to make this whole spot for Goofy to just kind of wave down at his,
Yes, he did. And they did go down and they saw the kids. But, and to Len's question, on May 1st is when it switches to Typhoon Lagoon. So it is Blizzard Beach right now until May 1st. So
it's gonna be a good summer, though. I'm excited for it. I mean,
I am too. And what a fun name.
We all have our different opinions, but I think they're moving in the right direction. I like the calls that are being made.
I do too. And I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with this, like where this goes. So I think it's hard sometimes to think about like what Disney's hoping for from this, you know what I mean, with when they do stuff like this. But I think Cool Kids Summer is kind of fun because we're all cool kids at different times. So I'm gonna embrace it and love it.
Mallory would not say I'm a cool kid right now. She's moody. So prom is this Saturday. So, dude, I'm just steering clear of that. How that's gonna go.
Good luck. We'll hope that the hair gods are playing nicely.
Yeah, I am just like laying super low, like starting on like Thursday. Like tomorrow, if you don't see me anytime to like Sunday, that's why. It was just like nobody will be happy in this house. All right. So if you're looking for that spot, Len, just go outside of Primo Piatto and look up. It's right there. It's like a little. Is that Chubba Pam? That spot right up straight above the doors as you go in, like.
I am like, so I went into the lobby and just walked straight back. Right by sort of where the staircase goes down. Mm-hmm. There's actually a balcony kind of on either side there.
So cool. I'm so excited for Len. He's got the whole squad going with him. Oh man,
that'll be the best.
It is gonna be the best. All right, so we got a question here. Well, let's start with the easy one from Mike M over on YouTube. Hey, Mike and Pam, the best steakhouse between Le Cellier and Yachtsman. I've never eaten at Yachtsman, but I've eaten at Le Cellier many, many times. So I'll leave that to you because I haven't done Yachtsman.
I prefer Yachtsman, and there's a couple of reasons why. But one of the reasons, as dumb as this sounds, is they have the best rolls.
Yes! I'm a Texas Roadhouse fan. Rolls rule.
They have these onion pull apart rolls that are fantastic. Thankfully, you can actually order them at Cruise Cup if you go there. We used to go to Cruise Cup so often that the staff would bring them to us, even though they weren't on the menu. Now they are on the menu and there is a charge for them, but it's totally fine. We are happy to pay it, but they that's
how the old system works. Like in the 80s, right? The first one's free, but they brought them to you. Now they're like, they're $10 a roll. You're like, I don't care because I'm addicted.
I don't care because we love them. Yes. They have, and actually they come with sourdough too. But anyways, yes. So, but no. And I also think that their steaks are really good at Yachtsman. They also have some great sides. I love their asparagus. They have like a cream spinach that's fantastic. The mushrooms are great. Just everything about that I love. But I really enjoy the atmosphere at Yachtsman, and that typically is where we're staying. So that's another reason why I'll always pick Yachtsman. Now, I do like Le Cellier too, and I think they have some really unique offerings. So make sure you look at the menu and see what is what. But I will tell you, when you walk into Yachtsman, they have the aging room right there to your left. Like you see the slabs of meat hanging in this dry aging process. And for those of you who don't know, when they dry or wet age something, it actually concentrates the flavor a little bit, which is why you want to do this. I mean, I've done research. Literally, Steve and I were like, well, we technically could dry age in our own refrigerator, but we're not doing that. But anyway, yes. So it's a good process. I'm sure they probably do something similar over at Le Cellier, but I just prefer Yachtsman a little bit.
Is that kind of similar to Texas Roadhouse where they show you the cuts of meat when you go past it? Like under
sort of, yes. I don't know that they're dry aging anything at Texas Roadhouse.
Probably there for a week. It's just they have that little like meat window where they have the basket of rolls on top. Hey, it's always the same thing. Like when they get your little ticket and they get ready to walk you back to your table. Hey, how's it going? Got any big plans this weekend? No, I'm here. This is my big plan. I'm old. I'm just ready to destroy some rolls and order me some chicken critters. How you doing?
I heard that they were resin at Texas Roadhouse. Those steaks.
Well, I don't know what they are because I always get chicken critters, but and a load of baked potato. But like, I just love watching, whoever it is in the window. That's the entertainment. Watching the person make the rolls. Man, they're like an artist. They're like putting all this. Anyway, you're not doing the rolls. I am. Cindy's got a question. My good friend out in Franklin, Tennessee. Hey, Mike. Hello. Thanks for all your Run Disney information in previous episodes. I've got a question about proof of time. I recently signed up for the Walt Disney World half marathon in January. I haven't run a race or that distance since 2022, so I didn't have a race to use to submit for proof of time. When submitting a proof of time, does it have to be a race of the same distance? For example, if I ran a 10K before the deadline, would that be accepted? I couldn't find the answer on the Run Disney website. In addition, I chose that it would take me longer than 2.5 hours to run the race because I didn't have a proof of time. Since I already made that choice, is it possible to go back in and change it to less than 2.5 hours, or is it too late? How would I do it? Thanks for your help, Cindy. And she says she's 694 miles from Coronado Springs Resort, her current favorite.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you always have to say current.
That's exactly.
Because mine changes all the time.
Seriously, it's always the last one. By the way, Mike says Yachtsman it is.
Okay, good.
Le Cellier has a lot of character, though. Le Cellier is not a bad choice either.
There's no bad choice.
You do got to be careful going in Le Cellier tired, because I've gone in there a couple times, and I don't know why, like, because I eat at 4:00. And for some reason, I've been with other people that want to eat like at 8:00. And for one, that's way too late. That's like my fourth meal. And that's like my bedtime snack, usually around the house. And I went in there and I'm just like, good night. Like it's so dark in there. It's so peaceful. I'm just like,
it is. It's sort of cavern like.
It is. It's like it's too peaceful. Anyway, so be careful. I'll put you back to Cindy. Okay, so the good news is you can always submit your proof of time, and like if you run another race and get a better time until there's a deadline. And you can go on the Run Disney site. It is in there. There is a deadline. And if you go over to the Lizards page, there's a Lizards Discord. Just ask in there. Somebody will always tell you what the date is. But it's on the Run Disney site. It's probably buried somewhere. But every race weekend has a date that is the last day to submit your proof of time for each race weekend, because I'm always like right up on it. And you can always change it, enter it, because I never do it during registration, because during registration, it's always hectic. It's crazy. And I always skip it. I always just
you have to be focused.
Yeah, because you just want to get signed up. So I always just put, no, I don't have proof of time. I did exactly what she says. I don't run it faster than 2.5 hours. So I just skip that, because if you do say you're fast, you get put into that whole thing. Okay, where was your race? What was your time? What was the date you ran? You don't want to do all that on registration day. You're just worried you won't get signed up. So to say you didn't, go back whenever you have time, but you got to make sure you don't forget to do this. Go back in and put it there, but you got to do it by a certain date. And it's months before the race weekend. So you got to be careful of that. It's not like a week before, it's months before. So check that date out. And yes, with a lot of the races, it can be a shorter race. Now, I think a 10K does qualify for a half marathon. Don't quote me on that, but I think the 10K works for a half, because I know like a half marathon works for a full. And I think a 10K works for a half. But again, it is on the Run Disney site. I know, because there's a proof of time thing, and it is on there, because I've looked at it many times for my proof of times, but I don't have it in front of me. But I'm pretty sure 10K does work for a half. But again, there's a Lizards Discord channel. You can find it, and Joe or somebody will definitely get you the answer and lickety split. But yes, I'm pretty sure 10K will get you a proof of time for a half. And we'll get that squared away for her. But Cindy, see you down there in the half on Saturday. That'll be fun. All right, let's get to the next question. And let's see here. Let's see. I clicked on the wrong one here. From Karen. We are going on the Treasure later this year. I've heard differing information about using a magic band on the ship. Will magic bands from the parks work on the ship? After we get off the ship, can we use the same magic band in the parks? Thank you so much. I was a runner until my knees decided I wasn't. Now I listen to the podcast while swimming my laps. Karen from Wisconsin, 1,221 miles from the Magic Kingdom. Everybody's telling us how far they are from the I
like that. We used to do that all the time.
We did. We're going there. It's kind of going back to the basics here. And I liked it instead of, say your body tells you what you got to do sometimes. And
right.
Runner, now swimmer. I like it. Still staying active and listening to the show. We appreciate that so much. So Pam, what about the Magic? So different than, I guess, Disney Bands Plus, because the Disney bands work both ways. But what about Magic Band Plus?
Magic Band Plus works both ways. It still is. What's funny is the Magic Band is literally just, and I hate the literally thing, but it is just a way of communicating with your My Disney Experience,
your cloud
profile, right? So a few years ago, Disney did a good job sort of being like, okay, really, the sign-in that you use to get into your My Disney Experience profile on Walt Disney World is the same sign-in you're going to use when you're planning your Disney cruise vacation, and the same profile you're going to use when you're planning your Disneyland vacation and all of that. So if you have a Magic Band Plus, then it should work for both. But it does have to be the plus. It does have to be the plus.
Initially, though, it was only the Disney Bands Plus worked like one way, but now it's all squared away, so we're good there.
It's all good. Now we're all good.
Can't wait to use mine soon. All right, Jennifer has a question, which somebody in our chat will appreciate. Mike et al. We are 4 weeks out from our Walt Disney World trip, which is sooner than that at this point. Len and I are traveling with our son's family during spring break. Matthew is a teacher, so he's stuck going when everyone else has their spring break too. I was wondering what activities we can do on our one non-park day that would be good for a just turned 5-year-old boy and his not quite 2-year-old sister. We're staying at the Riv, and I hear they have a good pool, but what else can we do outside the parks with young ones? We never took our kids until they were at least 5, and that was in the previous century. So we're not familiar with little kids stuff. What would you suggest? The activities don't have to be free, but we'd like to avoid crowds if possible during spring break. Thanks, Jen. 5 and 2 in something from this century, please.
It's so weird to hear that, I will say, when you say it was from the previous century.
I get it at this point in my life. 100%.
I know. So I'd be inclined I know that, people often go to Disney Springs. I think if you want to do Disney Springs that day, I would do it early.
Yes,
Mike and I are both avoiders of Disney Spring in the evening, unless I am going somewhere specific and I walk down that escalator or the steps. I go right to my destination and then I go back to my car and then I go, because it does get crazy busy there. And it will on spring break for sure. Although they'll have something really fun that people want to go see. So that I'll have to eat my words and I'll be there with the rest of humanity doing something in the evening at Disney Springs. But I know that you're traveling with Len and he knows all this stuff, but you're going to really, I think, enjoy being at the Rib because you'll be on the Skyliner. So I'm definitely riding the Skyliner that day. I think it's not just a form of transportation. It is just fun. And I'd visit some of the other resorts on the Skyliner. I think while the parks will be really busy, I think that you can often find some quiet time at the different resorts. And there's some great resorts for you to visit. You can go over and visit Pop. I think there's lots of fun stuff to do there at Pop. You can look at all the little statues and they'll have games and stuff going on there as well, and enjoy that. I think Caribbean Beach is a fun resort to really explore. That I think that is one of the more themed resorts on Walt Disney World property. Each little island has its own color of buildings and the tropical foliage is lush and it's awesome and the music is fun and they have, Banana Cabana, which is a fun place to go to. I think you're right there. You can take the Skyliner to visit Art of Animation too. So lots of fun stuff to do on the resorts just there on the skyline. But I always think when I'm traveling with a group that I want to get some photo pass, photos done. The good news is I have seen an increase in PhotoPass photographers at the resorts. Haven't you, Mike? I mean,
100%. And Kim, our good friend Kim Taylor says she's being cross-trained right now to be a resort person, to be, based out of a resort, doing exactly that. And you know how talented she is. I mean, that'd be like, those would be pictures that you'd be proud, like that professionally, she's so good at it. These photographers no longer take like snapshots. It's like something you would sign up for back home, like in a, professional photography studio.
Olin Mills.
I was going to say that, like the double exposure where you're like, only like Len and Jen and you and I get that. Yes. All the younger, Gen Z people are like, what are you talking about? But we know, like,
the best. It was the creepiest thing ever, wasn't it? I know that this is what Disney really needs. Yeah. Disney needs like an 80s kid summer.
They had that studio at Disney Springs. Remember, it was kind of over that basin. They should turn that into like Disney Mills. I'm just trying to make you spit your water out while you're taking
Get your own like glamorous
double exposures, like with bad haircuts. So like they have a filter that gives you like a bowl haircut.
Oh, 100%.
God, that'd be so awesome. I'd pay extra on my PhotoPass for that.
Oh my gosh. Remember glamour shots too? Remember those? So
that thing where you got the boa and stuff, like oh my God, at the Mills. That's what that was.
They need to have all of this. They need to have all these accessories available.
Glamour shots. That was like the 90s, like the
glamour shots. There was like a whole like a musical theme when they would advertise.
Like the Instagram before social media.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You made it when you were getting a glamour shot taken. I know. Sorry to everyone who's like, what are these things that they're talking about? No. So I would definitely look for the photographers because there's lots of stuff. But I'll tell you, I can spend a lot of time not going into a park. I can always find something to do at a resort, whether it's my resort or just a resort in the area. I love, you have to visit La Petite Cafe there at the Riv. It is one of my favorite places to just go and get a little snack. I like it so much that they have a picture from the Aristocats that show the two geese walking away, and that's actually up in the cafe. I had one of those made. Like, you can go into the Riv and have a piece of art made. We went and got it, like the biggest one we could get, and I had it framed and sent to the house. It was obscenely stupid, but it's down in our family room right now because I just love that little location. It's like little pieces of art like that I really appreciate. So anyways, I just like being at the Riv. I like the way it smells. I like the way it looks. A lot to see there.
I think I'm going to title the show "Obscenely Stupid" because that's kind of the theme of the show today.
Yes,
that's kind of what we're doing today.
Obscenely stupid. That could be the name of our podcast.
100% at this point. That's what we've turned into after 17. We're moving into year 18, and that's kind of what we have become. So you were exactly on the right track. What I'd say, like a 5-year-old and 2-year-old with like, grandma, grandpa. This is perfect. So riding the Skyliner is a perfect ride. Like, 'cause it's chill. And what I would do maybe beforehand, because you guys are Disney experts anyway, like say, okay, we're going to go to Pop, we're going to go to Art, and we're going to go to Caribbean Beach. And I tell them, we have to find like these, we're going to go on a hunt. We're going to try to find like these 5 characters. We're going to try to find Nemo. We're going to try to find Baloo, because like, the characters, like the big icons, like at Pop Century, at Art. And is there a character that you can find at Caribbean Beach? Is there a character somewhere that's present, like that you can buy, or just something? What's something you can find at Caribbean Beach? But along with that, make it a character kind of little scavenger hunt, and like a progressive, like maybe at Pop Century you're going to get like ice cream that you could split. Maybe at Art of Animation you get like a snow cone that you could split, and maybe
that's awesome.
You get like a cookies or something, and make it like a snack bonanza and like a scavenger hunt.
I love this idea. So I will tell you, when we were down there and walking through the Riv, I actually saw our good friend Dr. Kai's daughter Ella, who is in the college program down there. And she saw me, and it took me like a millisecond because she's older now. You know what I mean?
They're all still 8 to us. Yeah, exactly.
I know, right? So that I was so glad to see her, though, and so glad to hear about what she's doing and all of that. But she told us about, and I didn't have a chance to go over and do this, but this is something maybe, Len, that you and your family can go get. Apparently, there's a peanut butter and jelly croissant over at Pop Century. Right? Yes, I know. And I was like, oh, that sounds really good. So I meant to go over and try it, and we didn't have the opportunity. But Len, you'll have to go test it out and see what it's like. So I need to know if I need to go over and get that.
Yeah, do the food crawl, get the peanut butter jelly croissant, and
send
me a copy for research purposes. Okay, one last question because we got to get running along now. Janie came in late here from Facebook. We appreciate you being here. And she says, taking my mom on her very first trip in November, and we'll be celebrating both of our birthdays while we're down there. Any recommendations for a birthday dinner that's got good food and good vibes? Really wanting something that is going to give my mom a real sense of the Disney magic. Good food, good vibes, and very Disney in November.
Oh, man. There's so many different options. So like immediately I think to myself,
character meal.
I know, that's what I was thinking too, a character meal.
What about Crystal Palace?
I think that's a great one in the parks. I think if you want something out of the parks, you could do a breakfast. Topolino's is the one, it's challenging to get. You're going to want to, try to schedule it toward the end of your vacation to see if you can get that and do it right at 60 days. But that's a great one. I think another good one that people love is Ohana.
Yes. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tusker House, I think, is a great choice too over at Animal Kingdom. And you know what? Chef Mickey's still is.
That's definitely. I mean,
that's quintessential Disney.
It's not great food. It's good food, but the environment makes up for it.
I agree. It's a fun place. If you aren't thinking character, I would look at one of the signature meals. I think that if you could do one of the ones that sort of look toward the Magic Kingdom during fireworks time, then that would be quintessential Disney and good food too. Think about Narcoossee's. You could even do, why am I blanking on Citrico's does some of them have a good view, but California Grill. Now, just remember, California Grill is a prefix meal, so there's a set price for it. You get 3 courses, whatnot. Narcoossee's has great views of the fireworks show, and they pipe the music in and turn the lights down, so it's really fun too. So hopefully we gave you some good ideas there.
All right, well, that's going to wrap today's Listener Question Show, and we're going to be back on Friday with a fun topic that you can be a part of. It's going to be one of those shows where you can take it with you over the weekend and play along with your family and friends. Maybe you're going on a walk or something. It's one of those participation shows. So be back with us here on Friday in between your glamour shots as you go to the mall and get styled up with that boa. It's gonna be fun.
I think my hair is giving glamour shot vibes. I think I had this hairstyle.
I could see the like neon sign that was up top at the mall. It was wild. Okay, anyway, don't forget our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get the family. I mean, this summer, great time to go. I mean, it's a wonderful time to visit Walt Disney World. Long park hours. We got a nighttime parade returning to the Magic Kingdom at some point. We don't have the dates yet, but it's going to be happening soon. It's just a great time to visit. It's a wonderful time to visit. Enjoy your resort pool. Have a great time. So just check out all the details. Also, free dining offers out there right now at Walt Disney World. So again, swing by the website, themagicforless.com. All the details are there. Fill out the quote form, and we'll help you out from there. And the best part, no additional cost to you. And we can help you make sure that you're saving the most amount of money possible on that Disney trip, whether it's the Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. There's also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's PRGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. So a huge thank you from me to you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give us a follow on the social media. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Pam is at TMFLT Pam, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. And join us over in the Clubhouse. It's our Discord server. It's our live chat kind of message boards that go on 24/7. Free for everybody. It's a great community. Coming over today, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. And this Sunday night, we'll have a live call-in show. Scott's back from Hawaii, so we'll have lots to talk about. Alani, and I mean, he was there forever, so we got plenty to talk about there. So join us. Give us a call. It's the live call-in show Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We turn it over to you. You call in, you drive the show. So join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch, wherever you like. We'll be there for you. All right. Can't wait to be with you back on Friday. It's going to be a fun show. Be a part of it. So until we get back together, for Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. That was a good one. That was hilarious. Glamour shots.
There was a whole theme song, right? It was like glamour shots.
I don't know for the commercials. Probably it's probably on YouTube.
But yes, I have to look that up.
Wait, now typed episode twice. Glamour shots.
Glamour shots.
Yep.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'm sure there's a pink boa in it. I don't know why I remember like a lady with a pink boa.
If you've always wished for glamorous photos of yourself.
I know my sister did it. I remember that.
The sitting fee is only $30, Mike.
God, that's crazy.
This is from 1991.
That's about right. Yeah, that was my junior year of high school. Everybody went to glamour shots.
Glamour shots.
It was like you're kind of like fake senior pictures.
Oh yeah.
It was Instagram before Instagram.
It really was. It was bad Instagram. It was Instagram with a really hokey filter.
Yes.
That's a filter that we all need. A glamour shots filter.
Yeah, this is 100%. Oh my God.
I guess I would need to feather my hair a lot more. Like I'd really need to Farrah Fawcett it up, I think.
Dude, glamour.
I'm here for it, though.
Okay, here we go. Let's do the Friday show. Here we go. 2669. Welcome to episode 2669 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you and welcome to the, I almost said the Tower of Terror 10-miler weekend. It's not Tower of Terror. It is I'm so old. It's the springtime surprise 10-miler weekend. So shout out to all the Be Our Guest podcast lizards getting ready to run a 5K, a 10K, and then they decide to just abandon the Ks altogether and just run 10 miles. We're going back to freedom units and just going 10 miles. It's the wackiest thing ever in the world. And I don't know why. We're going to have a good time this week. I'll be cheering you on from back here in Missouri. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you stay cool. This weekend's one of those where you're running in April. It can get steamy, but just have a great time. And here's the biggest thing. Stay safe, everybody. They're bringing back the shoes. The Brooks collaboration with Run Disney. I've seen more people get hurt trying to get shoes than run the races. It can get ugly. It's like back in the day. This is how old I am. There was a day back in 1982 or 83, I remember, Christmas season. Picture it. Sicily. I'm trying to be, what's her name? Estelle Getty from Golden Girls back in the day.
I love her.
My grandma used to make me watch that back with her, like back in that. But I remember going to it's like a mini Mike in the Midwest again. If we did that last week. And I promised I could talk about dogs dying. My wife, like, dogged because I played that just segment for her because she doesn't listen to the podcast. I'm like, Pam, you remember this because you were next door. I told this the where the Red Fern grows story. She's like, you did not. I'm like, here it is. I'm playing it. We're going to Texas Roadhouse. Speaking of rolls. Oh, and anyway, I was telling the story. So I went with my mom, and we had to get. I guess I didn't know because I was a little kid, but we were getting a Cabbage Patch doll for my sister for Christmas. And back then, I don't know if you remember, it was a craze, right?
Oh, yes.
All things.
Yeah.
I just remember standing with my mom because my sister was 4 years younger than me. So I was probably like 7 or 8 because my sister would have been like 3 or 4. And we were in the toy department at our Target. And I was younger because, I don't remember this a whole lot. But I just remember being there with like a lot of ladies. And we were standing at like that swinging door in the back of the toy department at the Target. And I just remember a dude bringing out, a few boxes of Cabbage Patch dolls because they were in kind of that like square box that had like a clear window where you could see the kid. I just remember these ladies like attacking this dude. And my mom was one of them. Like it was, they savagely attacked this guy and just grabbed like the dolls and like it was a free for all. But my mom got one. My mom was aggressive, I guess. And that's how you had to be. This obviously Target did not invent virtual queues. It was just like, dude, just go at it. When the guy brought one out, and my sister got a Cabbage Patch doll that year, and she loved that sucker for a long time. But so good on my mom and good on my sister for having a Cabbage Patch doll. But I'm just saying, do what you got to do to get those shoes this weekend. I know it's virtual queue, but I know sometimes, man, it gets aggressive. So have a good time running the races, and may the shoe be with you this weekend and see how that goes. So we are here. We're going to have a good time. Pam Forrester's here. It's just us two, Ricky and Scott, still living their best life at the time of this recording. So Pam, the corner of the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday. What's up?
Happy Friday. So I got a Cabbage Patch doll that year too. So this is going way back in the Wayback Machine. Okay. So I grew up in a little rural town. Well, at this point in time, we were in a rural town. Okay. And there was a store in our town called Western Auto.
That's where I got my first baseball glove came from Western Auto from my grandpa.
Yeah, Western Auto sort of read the room on selling like things that were toys and things like that.
Who'd have thought I got my first baseball glove from a place called Western Auto?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's where my Cabbage Patch doll came from. My mom, I know one year for Christmas, and I picture my mom like throwing elbows to get this thing, right? That she got both me and my sister one. I remember I wanted one so bad. It's like the Sears catalog came, the JC Penney's catalog came. There were circles, like circles.
Like not just one, because like if one was like I casually want this, like if you circle it so hard that like
and page down, like this was like honing in. Yes, this is what you really wanted. So anyways, yes, I remember getting this. So yeah, Cabbage Patch dolls, man, those were the craze. I remember my mom saying, like, I don't know that you're going to get one of these for Christmas because I've called Penny's. You can't order them from them anymore. I've called Sears. You can't order them from there anymore. But she must have waited in line at this little Western Auto to do that. And I looked it up while we were sitting here. There's no Western Auto stores still available. They all had like shut down at different points in time. So
damn, there's no toy stores anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? No Toys R Us.
Mike in the Midwest is. I talked about this last week's episode of Mike in the Midwest. I called it like the miracle strip, where when I was a kid, just real quick, this is what if you got to become a patron to get this show because it was awesome. But my mom took us because you didn't have much to do, right? When you were a kid of like the late 70s, early 80s. Like, I mean, like, oh, you want to get in the car and go with your mom to the store? Well, yeah, because to ride your bike or, play with dirt. There wasn't a whole lot to do in our town. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we'd go in the Granada or the Pinto and, see what was up.
We had a Chevette.
I mean, dude, the Pinto was always broken. But that was another story. So, the Citation after that was always broken too. We always bought the worst cars, but, we had a lot of money. So who cared? It got us where we need to go. But that's a great, I need to do another show on the cars we always had because I remember the door falling off one time. But anyway, this one corner in our town, Newhall's Ferry and Interstate 270 was like, oh my God, it had everything. So like it had right in a row, it had Showbiz Pizza. Okay, Showbiz Pizza. So it was like better than Chuck E. Cheese because it was like Chuck E. Cheese, but it was better for some reason. I thought it was better. Next to that was Children's Palace, which was like a Toys R Us, but it was better than Toys R Us. It looked like a castle. And I mean, it was huge and it had all the toys. I mean, it was better than Toys R Us. And next to it was a Target. That's where this alleged crime happened. And, Target was cool back in the day because it was like the nicest of the department stores because we also had a Venture. Do you guys have Venture?
No.
Okay, it was like a cheap Target. It's St. Louis thing. And then we had Kmart, which was okay because it had the K Cafe where you go eat too inside. But I mean, and we had a Happy Joe's on that corner, which was a pizza joint, and we had Shoney's, which I like Shoney's as a kid. So it was like just a riches on that corner. So that was what Mike in the Midwest was about this week. Was talking about God. I used to love going on.
We had a Children's Palace in Pittsburgh. Yeah. We totally did. It had the little, like the turrets.
Yeah, right? I talked about the two turrets on the end. It's sad, but 15 years ago when the empty building was there because it had gone out of business years ago, it got turned into a skating rink just called the Palace.
Oh my!
And then it became a big daycare center, and then
wow,
demolished. I'm sure. Anyway, we gotta talk Disney. Yes, that's Mike in the Midwest. Patreon.com/BRGS Okay, so
I love it.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna do something today you can play along with, and this was actually a few weeks ago. Somebody mentioned this. Speaking of the Clubhouse, BRGSPodcast.com/Clubhouse. Somebody was asking in our channel about Disney Cruise Line. They were just being mean, and I forget who it was, but I can't remember. But and I'll try to find it. It was it might have been Alex Hilly 1492. It was just being mean and said, Mike, if you had to cut one of the classes of ships that are currently sailing with Disney Cruise Line, which would you cut? The classic ships, the Wish class ships, or the Dream class ships? And I'm like, stop. I just banned you from the clubhouse. You're gone. I said, be gone with you. I said, that's me. So I got to thinking, I'm like, God, man, that's a tough call. And so we're going to do a show on that. And I asked the clubhouse today earlier to give us like 3 things. We have to cut one. The whole premise was we were going to go back and forth, but the clubhouse has given us plenty that we can go with.
Yeah.
So let's start with that one though. Alex put that one in the clubhouse today. And What would you say to that if you had to cut one class of ships? Because I had one until the treasure came out.
Right, I know.
I know the Wish is your favorite ship, though. Like, it's not mine because I love Deck 4. The Deck 4 thing.
Yeah, I know. I love the treasure too, though, I will say.
I
Really,
love the
truly
treasure.
do.
Don't love the Wish as much. Yeah.
I think I know, and all people will get hate mail, and you can address it to Mike at Be Our Guest Podcast. I think I'll cut the classic ships. And the reason why is I have so many fond memories of the Dream and all of our Be Our Guest cruises and things like that. I sailed on the Dream more than I sailed on anything else. I love the Fantasy. I think she's a beautiful ship. There's so many reasons to love that. I think that class of ships really started to offer more opportunities for people. They had, just some different things. They're a little bigger. They offer a little more. And I love the Wish and Treasure both so much that I would have to cut the classic ones.
Coming in hot. All right. So I am actually going to cut the Wish class ships, even though I love the Treasure so much, because the Fantasy is my favorite ship. And the Dream, again, like you, I have the best memories on the Dream and the Fantasy, the podcast cruises and so forth. I mean, we have just, I mean, to me, I've kind of grown up on the Dream and the Fantasy. I have great memories too on the Magic and the Wonder. And they're just kind of they're like, I'm nostalgic again. It's because of who I am. I'm super nostalgic. That's like that's where cruise line came from. I'm getting ready to cruise the Magic again in July. Super excited for that. And they just keep reinventing themselves. And there's, I like this, the intimacy of a small ship. It's like the French Quarter kind of experience, right? Like people like French Quarter because it's not massive. As much as I've raved about the Treasure. Like the Treasure is bringing the theme parks to sea to Disney Cruise Line. It's amazing. I mean, it's great. If you don't know how great it is, check out the new special on Disney Plus that they just put out, and you kind of see that. But the rule is you got to cut one. I love the Wish and the Treasure. Don't get me wrong, but you got to cut one. So I'm going to go with the Wish and the Treasure. So that's what I'm going to go with. And I'm going to go back to I'm going to try to go back and get these in order from what people said today. And man, we got a lot here. So let's see. Ashley said 3 shows at Hollywood Studios: Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, or Indiana Jones. Which would you cut? We got a lot, so we rip through these.
I'll say Beauty and the Beast because I find those seats to be the most uncomfortable in the world.
Yeah, I'm with you. Beauty and the Beast, I think, has run its course. As much as I love Beauty and the Beast because, it's Be Our Guest podcast. I love it. But there's not as much to that production. Indiana Jones, like, dude, that's awesome still. Like, it's still a production. I mean, that's like, there's a lot going on, and Frozen is hilarious. Like, just like if you're by yourself, go in there and just watch the kids watch the Frozen show. Like, they are just enthralled. And I still like the love.
Yes, there are jokes that only adults are going to get in that show most of the time when they're doing it. Don't you think?
Yeah. They're
hysterical.
Yeah, I think the Frozen show is like one of the most underrated things at Walt Disney World.
They're the hardest working folks at Hollywood Studios. I think those people are so witty and quick on their feet, and it's like you're seeing a little comedy show and a Frozen show every time you see it.
Yeah, that theater basically, it's so right in the middle of the park and like right in your face. Even went back with American Idol. I think like even during its run, it didn't get its love that it should have, because the warm-up act was always a ton of fun. Like the warm-up, like Mark Daniels when he did it, there was other people that did it besides him. But like that would be like a mini show in itself. He'd get you raising the roof and everybody be having a good time. And then, the people came out for the most part were like, dang, those are, I mean, of course, everybody that comes on stage is a main character. We've addressed that, but I mean, so most people could sing.
Yes, they could.
Dog, those are regular guests. Like, give me a break. Like, and it was a show. It was fun. That that Simon and the Paula people that were judging people, they were hilarious. Like, I loved it.
It was good.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Kitty Campbell says 3 individual Lightning Lane experiences: Seven Dwarfs, Guardians, or Flight of Passage. Which would you cut? I'll go first on this one.
Yeah, go.
Just okay. For me, dude, 2 of them make me want to barf sometimes, but of the 3, I would cut Flight of Passage because it's mostly screen. The other two are more practical experiences.
I know. I can't cut Seven Dwarfs because I just feel like that's a fun ride. And I think that a lot of people can, really enjoy that. I'm not going to cut Guardians because I think it's really sort of state of the art in a lot of ways. So Flight of Passage is going to be mine too.
All right. Alex Hilly, we did his earlier, but he has one more.
He has another one. Yeah.
Monorail Resort. Ooh, dude, Contemporary, Poly, or Grand? Which one are you cutting there?
Oh, dang.
I see that's easy for me. I'm cutting the Grand.
Are you?
I mean, it's not easy, but I mean, the Polynesian, dude, it is so cool, especially at night with the torches. And to me, the Polynesian feel wins all, like the beach and I like that brown and orange kind of vibe. And the Contemporary with the monorail, there's nothing like it. There's just nothing to compare it to. Where the Grand is just, it's beautiful. It's got opulence is what its theme is, and it's themed after the Hotel Coronado in San Diego. So there's something like it you could go to. It's not just Disney to me.
Yeah, I see that. I think I just love those Mary Poppins rooms so much. I think they did a great job with them. And they have, like, I really love Narcoossee's. I think that it's just solid. Oh, dang. And I love the Polynesian too, because I'm such a Brady Bunch-ish kitschy kind of fan. And the Contemporary just seems like it's so Disney. Dang, this one's really hard.
The Contemporary doesn't have as great of pools. I mean, the Contemporary has
it doesn't.
I mean, the Grand probably the Grand I guess wins on pool, especially the DVC pool.
I know. I'm gonna do the Contemporary.
You just got rid of California Grill,
I know. Well, I haven't been there since for a while because they went to that stupid prefix menu.
The prefix menu's got you up in arms. All right, Brenton, our friend out in the Pacific Northwest, actually threw in 4. I don't know why. Brenton, it was 3. Rules, bro. It is Final Four weekend, though. I mean, I guess he's like that final. He's a basketball guy. He's got Final Four in the mind. He says, and this one's not even a snack, dude. Okay, let's go. Ice cream bar, waffles.
Maybe he's thinking like Sleepy Hollow waffles.
Maybe. Ice cream sandwich and a pretzel. And then he says, I guess waffles aren't a snack. Okay, so let's throw waffles out. Let's just do that. Okay. Let's say ice cream bar, ice cream sandwich, and a pretzel.
I'm going, you ready for this? People, again, Mike at brguestpodcast.com. Ice cream bar. Mickey ice cream bar. It's not my favorite.
I'm going with that too. I'm assuming that I can say the pretzels, that sweet, the pretzel with the sweet cream cheese on it.
You can say the pretzels whatever you want, probably. Yeah. I love a Mickey pretzel. There's something about it. I get one almost every time I'm there. Other things I may not get, but that is something I almost always do.
The pretzel's like, it's so good to have like just a solid, basic snack. I mean, it never is a bad choice. Like it's like your good utility middle infielder. It's just always.
If you get the plain one that comes with the cheese, like that you can dip into, it's trashy, salty as heck cheese.
Oh yeah.
Like, sometimes like you'll do a cheese dip and you're like, I can hardly taste this. Like it doesn't really taste like anything. This tastes like something. It tastes like salt.
Yeah. Okay, hot tip though, like pretzels should always be prepared with tons of salt on it, those kind of pretzels, because the thing is that leaves it up to you, because you can knock that stuff off if you want. Right. I mean, if you want to like stop your heart with all that and just down it, that's up to you. But I mean, like if you say, okay, I'm going to knock 50% off, that's good. If I want to knock 90% of it off, that's great. Whatever you want to do, but that leaves it up to you. But if you get one without with like just a couple, grains of salt, you're getting gypped. That's not great.
Agree.
All right, let's see. He has another one. Adventureland, Fantasy. And again, he's at the 4th thing. Adventureland, Fantasyland, Frontierland, or Tomorrowland, the Magic Kingdom lands. Which one are you cutting? I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was close. I guess I'm cutting Frontierland.
Oh gosh, that's the one I was gonna say too. Like, I can't cut Fantasyland because it's sort of like, that was my first thought, but it's sort of the heart of the Magic Kingdom.
You can't cut. Yeah, you can't cut Fantasyland.
I can't cut Adventureland because hello,
especially at night. Like I
yes.
think about that the lushness of it.
It's
and
the
Tomorrowland
best.
Jam, especially at night. It's Space Mountain, TTA, Tron.
Yeah.
The music, the background loop.
Yes.
Yeah, and Frontierland's in transition, big time.
Yes, it is.
Especially right now. All right, let's see. Oh, should I give you this one? I am going to give you this one. Should I do the one Ian asked?
You can ask. I'm not going to answer.
Go ahead. You aren't going to hurt my feelings. Pam, this is for Pam. You got to cut Mike, Ricky, or Scott. Go ahead, cut me.
No, I'm not cutting any of you three. I'll cut myself before I cut.
Okay, I love it. All right, let's see. Julie, who's our star of Monday's podcast from earlier in the week, who I just got to give a shout out to Julie in Scotland. She stayed up late with us because the time difference.
Yeah.
I just got to say, her show was amazing.
That's awesome.
She did a week at Caribbean Beach, a week at Coronado Springs. So we got just a straight, and it was the first time at both resorts, got a straight Caribbean Beach to Coronado Springs, apples to apples comparison. She was there during a hurricane, and she had the best attitude of a Disney fan. And we got to just have so much fun talking about her Disney vacation with her family. And we laughed. So I loved that show on Monday. We had a great time talking Disney. So I appreciate Julie so much. But she said, which one? Dude, she's not right with this one, though.
Oh, gosh, she's winning hard.
I gave you your kudos because I'm getting at you on this one. She said, which one are you cutting, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or cruise line? Oh, my gosh. Well, right now, I am cutting Walt Disney World. Because I love, I'm this Disneyland guy right now. I'm like, it's my newfound love, and cruise line is just my jam too. And I love Walt Disney World, but I've done Walt Disney World so much, I can't, it's my new girlfriend or something.
Oh gosh, I cannot cut one of these. I really don't think I can. Walt Disney World's like my second home.
I know.
When I go there, I feel like I'm home.
I know, same for me. But it's like Disneyland's my new discovery.
It's your new girlfriend. Disneyland's your new girlfriend.
I'm not. Trust me. You're
gonna drop her though in a few months.
My Pam does not have to worry about anything. I promise you that. I run around in sweatpants and I dress like a defensive coordinator every single day, and we love each other very, very much. It was a terrible comparison, but I'm just saying,
no, but that's what it's like.
Disneyland in 2022. There's still things out there that I'm like, dude, I've never done that before. I've never had that snack. I've never eaten at that restaurant. So it's like all new. And cruise line is it's a different thing. It's so easy, but I get all the Disney. It's like cruise line just brings everything to you. It's just it. And you can't do cruise line as much. One, it's not as accessible, and it's more expensive. It's like cruise line's like that special treat you get every once in a while. So I don't want to cut that. World, I get to go because in World I do, and also with me, whenever I go to Walt Disney World, 90% of the time I have to run 26 miles.
Yes.
For me,
this is so hard for me, really and truly. I love them all for different reasons.
That is hard. Oh my God.
I think I'd cut. We're saying that you can cut these things, but it wouldn't alter anything in the universe.
No, we're just, this is just this is like one of these, we're pretending like we're going on a virtual walk and just talking.
Okay. Then I'll just cut Disneyland.
Ooh.
I know, but that's why I asked. It's not going to alter anything in the universe.
It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And there was
right? Now I'm worried that there's going to be a Marty McFly situation here.
Show that gif of him in the Millennium Falcon where it just buckles and right. You okay? All right. Here we go. Paul, our good friend, says Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Jollywood Nights, or the Candlelight Processional?
I'm gonna cut Jollywood.
I'm also gonna cut Jollywood.
But I think that they've really stepped up for that one. But I can't cut the Candlelight Processional because I love it.
Nope.
And Mickey's Very Merry, can't cut that either. So
yeah, I would never cut Candlelight. And yeah, The Christmas party at the Magic Kingdom is just amazing. Jollywood is cool. It's very
very cool.
Very kitschy, but I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, none of these things I want to go away. We're having very much remorse of ever picking
up. 100%. As soon as the words come out of my mouth, I'm like, I want to take it back.
We're both hating it. We have to cut anything. Like we may delete this show from the feed immediately.
Right. It can go out. You have a short period of time to listen to it.
This might be, remember Limited Time Magic? This show might be a Limited Time Magic. Like,
yes,
you got to meet, like, I don't know, Robin Hood's like stepbrother, like for 5 minutes that year. It's gonna be this show.
Yes, it's true.
All right, lounges. Paul actually adds in here: Nomad Lounge, Steakhouse 71 Lounge, or the Space 220 Lounge. This is so hard.
I think I'm gonna do Steakhouse.
I would say
I really like it, but I love Nomad. Like, I love being able to sit outside, and they have the lizard drink there. So, I mean, you know, that there's something very unique about Space 220. So that's why I said Steakhouse 71. Yep.
That's what I'm going with too. Because the outside where you're just sitting out there looking at the water at Nomad, especially during a thunderstorm, give me a thunderstorm. It's a perfect place to ride one out. Yes. And Space 220, unique experience besides.
For sure.
You're in space. So Steakhouse 71, as cool as you are, and you can get the cake and stuff like that, but got to have more. You got to bring more to the table.
And peanut butter and jelly wings you can get there too.
Oh, stop. Oh my gosh. Peanut butter and jelly, everything.
I know, right?
Alfred says, which would you cut? Flight of Passage over Tower of Terror? I would cut Flight of Passage on that one. Would you?
Yeah, I would too.
Tower. And Len says it's hilarious how rough this is.
It's like rough, you're asking us to pick a favorite child.
It's rough. Okay, Corey says, transportation options.
This is rough.
Monorail, monorail, Skyliner, or boat. Why didn't you put the bus in there? But he did,
because we could have been like,
he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose.
Right.
Yes. The monorail, the Skyliner.
I'm gonna have to cut what might be my favorite form of transportation, and that's the boat.
Dude, I'm just gonna say 2 words: Phil Shinegold.
I know. I said we doesn't have any other repercussions outside of the universe. But I love the monorail. It's Disney, right? Period.
I know, you can't have Walt Disney World without a monorail going.
Right. The Skyliner is just fun.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. I know. These are all by default, people. This is all by default.
Yes.
Yes. Boats are the greatest thing. I mean, what is
they are?
Like you've done a great morning at the Magic Kingdom. Like you've won, right? And then you 10:30 and you get on a boat to go over to Ohana or something, to the Polynesian, and you're getting ready to just crush a good late breakfast on a boat. That's winning at life. And we're cutting this. What are we doing?
I know. You're going over to Disney Springs from Port Orleans. It's the evening.
Or like the Sassagoula River on a pontoon, and in the fall, and going past the treehouse. What? There's something wrong with this show. This show should be banned.
This show is not okay.
The show is not. Yeah, it's just like Jelly Roll. I don't know if you listen to Jelly Roll. I listen to country music. He has a song called "I Am Not Okay." And I think that's a big first part of the song. Every time that song comes on, my wife and I are like, "Sing it, Jelly Roll." That is deep truth. Anyway.
We're gonna have trauma from the show.
Why did I think of this? Stupid. Okay, let's see. Visiting Walt Disney World, spring, fall, or winter? Again, summer did not make the hot list here. So I'm cutting winter. It's just, I don't like
that.
Winter.
Was me too.
That was easy. Football from the north. Forget winter. We're out. Okay, here we go. Types of boats: Sassagoula River boats, friendship boats, or those cute little low-sitting Bay Lake hotel. I think those are called. What do they call those? I just had it. They're called resort launches.
Oh yeah.
So you got to cut. I'm cutting
the low-sitting Bay Lake Hotel one.
I'm cutting the friendships.
That's hard.
Because sometimes you're just jammed in there if you don't get a good seat in the back.
Yeah, true.
I like the little resort lounges. Like the wind blows through your hair.
I like it when it's not super cold.
Yeah, exactly. I like it when the weather's perfect. Now, when the weather's not nice, those things are terrible. Let's see. Run Disney weekends. Princess, Springtime Surprise, or Wine and Dine. I'm going to cut Wine and Dine because I never run Wine and Dine for a couple reasons. One, it's during always one of the best football weekends of the year, and because it's too crowded that weekend. It's just Walt Disney World is a nut house that weekend, and because of the race, because sometimes it's over Jersey week, and it's like Wine and Dine has just become crazy popular. And it just like a couple of my last 2 weekends at Wine and Dine, it was just insanely crowded, and I was like, whoa. So I'm cutting Wine and Dine.
I'm cutting Wine and Dine too, and it's more of a weather issue for me. I think the temperature tends to be still warm during Wine and Dine, typically.
Yep. Oh, okay. Back to food. Now we're serious. Disneyland churros, Mickey waffles, or Gaston's cinnamon roll.
I'm gonna do Gaston cinnamon roll because I want like an extra cup of icing for that thing.
So you're cutting it?
I'm cutting it because like you don't get an extra cup of icing.
You could. There's no way I'm cutting Gaston cinnamon roll. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Man, I am cutting the Mickey waffle because it's not a churro Mickey waffle. Those things are the jam.
They are good.
Cut one. Night Sky Restaurants.
Oh, this is an interesting one.
And I've never heard them called that, but I'm going with that for the rest of my life.
Me too. Hopefully I'll remember. Hannah, you don't have too much worry though, because we won't remember that. But
yeah, exactly.
if we were to remember it, it would be awesome.
We're talking about Hannah L over in the Discord, not your Hannah.
Not my Hannah.
Blue Bayou, Sci-Fi Drive-In, or San Angel Inn. Which one would you cut?
I think I'm going to cut Sci-Fi because the other two are too nostalgic for me, but I like Sci-Fi for that reason. I think it's a cool restaurant, but that's the one I'm cutting.
This one's super hard for me because Blue Bayou I'm not cutting because I just love that at Disneyland. That's amazing. Sci-Fi and San Angel, because Sci-Fi is, even though I cannot get an ADR for that to save my life, it is so cool. Like, because you got the trailer. Again, I'm a retro guy, nostalgic guy, and it just screams nostalgia. Like, you can't go to a drive-in anymore. It's got the trailers. It's got the old cars. God, I love that feel. And San Angel Inn is basically kind of like a Mexican version of Blue Bayou. You got the boats going by.
Yeah.
You got the pyramid. Dude, this one is super hard.
It's really hard.
And it's got Mexican food. That wins. See you later, Sci-Fi. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I just cut Sci-Fi. That's brutal. Let's see. Oh, of the Big Thunder Mountains. Now this one, I've never been to Tokyo. Have you been to Tokyo?
I haven't been to Tokyo, so that's the only one I haven't done.
Yep. So Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or Paris or Tokyo. I can't do that. So we'll try to get to these other ones. Here's merchandise: mugs, hats, or Christmas ornaments. For me, it's mugs. I don't collect mugs. I'm not a mug person, but I do collect hats and I do collect ornaments every once in a while.
I do not collect hats, so I will say hats. And I don't, as a rule, collect mugs, except I do buy the Starbucks You Were Here mugs, which I think they call them Been There, whatever. And I have to buy the Disney ones and the Universal ones and the Royal Caribbean ones and all this. So and we don't even it's just dumb. I don't know why I do it, but I do it.
We all collect our things. But see, my problem is my wife she does not let me accumulate things. Like, she is very much
I don't like things to accumulate either.
And she will kill me when I start collecting things. Like, she will throw stuff away. So I've learned, like, I can keep hats because I wear, because it's a clothing item.
It's a clothing item.
But even I've got so many hats, she starts grumbling about that. Like, when's the last time you wore that hat? So like, I'll have to wear it just to prove like it doesn't match.
But you have to have it on.
Thrown out. I'm just like, well, I wore it yesterday. Well, it doesn't match, but you can't throw it away because I just wore it. Justification. Okay, another one. Monorail lounges: Enchanted Rose, Trader Sam's, or California Grill Lounge.
I'm cutting California Grill Lounge because you can't really do much there. It's not really a lounge anymore.
Same. Yep. You can't go Trader Sam's. That's like an experience.
And Enchanted Rose really is too. I love I love that location. So.
And our good friend Mike says, he's got two here. Food and Wine, Flower and Garden, or Festival of the Arts. It's Food and Wine again for me. It's just because again it's hot and it's just become it's become a victim of its own success. It's
for sure.
Busy. And the other two are just it's more comfortable time of the year, and it's less crowded for both.
And Flower and Garden makes Epcot look just spectacular, by the way. And Festival of the Arts is just, I think it has the best food. So,
yep. Cut one transportation options. So these are all together: Lyft, Uber, and minivan, all one thing. So kind of private transfers. Skyliner or the monorail. I'm cutting Uber.
That's what I was going to say too. Yep.
Give me Disney. Let's see. Maria, our good friend who's a teacher, she says this one could hurt Mike. Cut one, Moderates edition, Coronado, Port Orleans, or Caribbean Beach. And we could pick either one of the Port Orleans resorts. I would cut, God, that's a tough one.
It is rough.
I'm not cutting Coronado.
Not cutting Coronado, and I think I'm going to cut Caribbean Beach.
I think I am too, because I like the Riverside and French Quarter. They have character, man. They're like postcards. They're beautiful. I love the Sassagoula River. Yeah. We got rid of the Skyliner though.
I know.
Yeah. I can't believe we did that, but we did. Because it
has no repercussion.
It doesn't, but oof. All right, we got a couple more. Let's see. Cut one of these three parks: Epcot, Animal Kingdom, or the Studios.
Well, I can't cut Epcot because that's at times my favorite park. Like it sort of bounces around.
I'm cutting Animal Kingdom because that's one I go to the least. I mean, it's just I can't be.
I'm cutting it too. I agree.
Let's see here. Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, or Tiana's. I'm cutting Space. Space is kind of my favorite ride, but the older I get, man, I cannot. Every time I'm telling you, every time I'm like, are we to that red section yet? You know, because I know like I'm almost done. Like that's just, I just want to get there. I just want to get there. I just want to get there at this point in my life. I'm just like, please, my back can't take any much more of this. And it used to be my favorite ride. Like I'm excited when we go up the lift hill. Like I'm like, yes. And then as soon as we go over it and we start going to that first one, I'm like, oh, I did this to myself again. Here we go. But you know what? I'm going to keep Space Mountain because I do keep doing it. Big Thunder, I love. It's just like a middle of the road. Great. Tiana's, I'm going to cut just for the fact that water rides have to be like, again, because it has to be the right temperature. Like I'm getting finicky with getting wet. I don't like to be wet. Like unless I'm like, really
I get that.
I don't want to be cold and wet. I'm just getting cranky. Okay. How about Happily Ever After, Fantasmic, or Mickey's Mix Magic? I don't know that one.
That was out in California, I believe.
And
that's what I would.
Yeah, I would cut that one too because I cannot cut Happily Ever After or Fantasmic. No way. Newer lands: Galaxy's Edge, Pandora, or Toy Story Land.
I think I'd do Pandora.
I would. We are like on the same page. I would cut Pandora too. Yeah.
These are all hard, but yes.
Craig throws in Cardinal baseball, college football, or Coke Zero. Cardinal baseball, sorry.
Oh, this is right for you.
They're not spending money, but hey, we're having a good start to the season, so I like it. Okay. Back to Disney. Living with the Land, Spaceship Earth, or the People Mover?
I gotta go Spaceship Earth because the other ones are like innate with me.
Like they're not with Spaceship Earth, you get rid of the icon that we see going into Epcot.
No, I'm just getting rid of them. I'm just getting rid of the attraction. The icon is still there.
That's how we're playing this. That's how we're playing this.
That's how I'm playing it. It's the only way I'm going to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh my gosh! Because Living with the Land is probably my favorite all overall attraction at Walt Disney World. I know, as weird as that is, it probably is.
I agree.
Yeah, because it takes you back to like the old Epcot. It's like the closest thing we have to 80s Epcot.
No, it's that and the people mover. Like those things are too.
People need to be moved.
Right, exactly.
But Spaceship Earth is like so perfect for Epcot.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Alex, yes, we are going to kick you out. This was hard.
And V's or whoever put that one in. By the way, the person is fertilizing my grass in the backyard right now, outside the window. You're banned from the Discord now for putting that one. I cannot. You're right. I might not sleep if I say Spaceship Earth, but I think it has to be Spaceship Earth out of those three.
I know.
We're going to wrap up on, I think.
Anyway, yeah, I agree. That was rough, though.
That was rough. That was mean. I feel like I've been hurt.
Yeah, that was traumatic. I think I need to go cry for a little
bit. I think so too. Pam, when I came up with this idea, I'm not kidding. This morning, when I thought this is gonna be a fun show, like this is a Friday, because when I used to teach, we did something every Friday called Friday Fun with my 6th graders, and so every week I told them, if we have a good week, and we'd have incentives, and I'd put up tabs on the front board, and if we earned enough points for doing good things, we earned Friday Fun. And to be honest, we got it most weeks because I like to have Friday Fun with my kids. We usually play kickball or something on a Friday.
Yeah,
we'll watch a movie. Yeah. It was pretty loose with the points, but I thought this would be kind of a Friday Fun thing, right? It's Friday. Let's have a fun episode.
It wasn't fun. It was hurtful.
It's like, again, just like me showing where the red fern grows. The dog just died.
Yes. I felt like the dog died a couple of times while we were doing this.
Okay, this was not great. Anyway,
it did make me think.
Yes,
it made me think that I can't make these decisions.
Anyway, so sorry. Hope you have a good weekend. we just cut Spaceship Earth. Right. So have these conversations with your family and see where they go on these.
So you could be traumatized too.
Traumatize your kids and your significant other and everybody you love, and come over to the Discord and jump in on this conversation, because it does kind of make you think, if you had to, what would you do? So again, it's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, we're going to jump out of here. We'll be back again on Sunday night with the live call-in show. We hope you can join us. We can play this game more if you want to, poke yourself in the eye a little bit more. Poke me in the eye. Let's go. But we'll be there at 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Give us a call. We'll continue the conversation. We can talk about all the announcements that are going to happen for this summer at Walt Disney World. We'll have a good time with that. And we just love talking Disney. So join us Sunday night. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. When you're ready, we're ready. No cost to you, and you get great first-class concierge level services each and every time. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air, so thank you so very much for that support. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the social media. I'm at beourguestmike. Pam's at TMFLT Pam, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. And that's about it. So until we get back together again on Sunday night, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And as always, we appreciate your support. We're glad you're a part of the Be Our Guest podcast family. So for Pam and myself, Ricky and Scott too, I guess they're just not here today, but we just hope you have a great weekend. So stay safe, stay healthy, and sorry, we were mean. We'll see you real soon.
That was rough.
That was not fun, but it was kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will see you next. Are you going to be here next week?
Yep.
All right.
I'll be here. Same place, time, location.
And the crew will be back. All right. I'll see you.
All right. See you. Okay.
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Edited MP3. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. We're back today. Pam joins me, and we thought we were going to have a good time on today's show, but it became a little bit painful as we played a game called Gotta Cut One or One's Gotta Go, as we took groups of three. We put three things together like Living with the Land, Spaceship Earth, and the People Mover, and we had to cut one out of that group. Which one would you cut and why? We also talked about Galaxy's Edge, Pandora, and Toy Story Land. Which of those lands would have to go of the three? So we had to make some tough Disney choices. Just played a game and had discussions as to our thinking if we had to remove one out of a group of three. So play right along with us today as we explore Disney Cruise Line, Disneyland, and Walt Disney World and talk about our current Disney fandom. So hope you have a good time with us, and maybe you will kind of, have to squirm with us as we did during today's show. Don't forget, our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible. We could not do this without your support. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. I will see you guys later.